Filing digital documents effectively will ensure you can quickly retrieve a specific file when you need it. Your operating system already offers a few basic folders where you can store the files you create or download. But if you stick to this rudimentary filing system, it will quickly become very difficult to make your way around. By using a slightly more detailed filing system, you will make your research and information processing tasks much faster and more effective. Here is your first tip. Group your documents by general subject. Think about your general areas of interest and create a folder for each one. For your studies, for example, the main headings might reflect specific courses or families of courses. One of the simplest ways to create a new folder is to right-click to bring up the pop-up menu and then select New and Folder. All operating systems offer this function, although the procedure may vary slightly from one to another. Then just give the folder a name that clearly indicates its contents. Once your folders are created, you can distribute your documents among them. After doing this, you may realize that some documents do not really fit under any of the general headings you choose. Try to evaluate whether they might fit under another general heading, or whether you can just leave them unfiled if they are temporary, for example. Let's move on to tip number 2. Create a folder tree. A folder tree is a way to organize a structure using branches, resulting in a shape that resembles a tree. In our earlier example, the files could be divided into two main branches, personal and school. In the French folder, a subfolder could be created for every mandatory French course. Then, each of these folders could be further subdivided into document categories such as class notes, research, or evaluations. This filing system is just an example. The important thing is for you to develop a system that works for you so you can easily locate your documents. In short, a folder tree helps you put your files in order based on a personal system that makes sense to you so you can find them again easily, even if they've been stored on your computer for a very long time. And finally, tip number 3. Make sure you name your files properly. Would you be able to say what these files contain by just looking at their names? Definitely not. Let's look at a few recommendations for avoiding confusion related to file names. Use clear, descriptive words, and only use abbreviations for complementary information, such as version, for example. The words you use should go from general to specific. For example, you should choose literature, poetry, sonnets, rather than sonnets, poetry, literature. Ask yourself whether in several months' time you will be able to recall the content of a document simply by looking at its name. Now let's review the 3 tips using a short example. Suppose you are doing online research for Philosophy 101 and that you have downloaded several documents into one of the general folders provided by your operating system. First, group together the files by subject matter. In this example, this means moving the files to the Philosophy folder and then to the subfolder Philosophy 101. Then create a folder tree to file these documents. Finally, change the somewhat obscure names of these documents so they are easier to find later. Please note that you can also add metadata to your documents, but this skill is the subject of another ICT Profile for College Students video. In brief, the secret to filing your digital documents effectively is to group them together by general subject, create a folder tree, and name your files properly. Don't forget that a properly filed document is a document that can be found easily when you need it.